Eurovision 2024 is very much a fait accompli by this point, and in true Eurovision fashion, barely has one contest finished before we're predicting and fantasizing about the next. So as we while away those final weeks of summer, or winter to our fellow Earthlings in the Southern Hemisphere, in which absolutely nothing has happened, if you ignore elections, the Euros, the Olympics, Wimbledon, music festivals, and even the latest family crisis next door, let's engage in the completely frivolous task of discussing what we want to see, and inevitably won't, at Eurovision 2025. We're going to cover 5 things in this video, and they're a combination of my own wishes, as well as those submitted on my community page, so thank you to everyone who got involved there. Let's start with the elephant in the room, Israel. Pretty much everyone, regardless of whether they support Israel's participation, favour a ban, or sit somewhere in between, acknowledge that changes need to be made to ensure the controversies of the 2024 contest are not repeated. The EBU is a large organisation run by its members with a mission to support public broadcasting. Banning a member, for whatever reason, is a very serious step and not to be taken lightly. Telling Israeli broadcaster Khan to get lost does nothing to address the deeper issues within the organisation to ensure it is more resilient to weather the storms of the future. An Israeli ban may be part of a broader solution, but nothing more. How does the EBU deal with the next country that comes to be regarded as politically problematic? Is it right to punish a broadcaster and music industry that may not necessarily support their government's actions? Regardless of whether Israel is in Switzerland or not, mitigations are needed to ensure tensions of geopolitical issues spill over into the contest as little as possible. Either that, or everyone could just put their political opinions to one side while at Eurovision, but that's hardly going to happen. There needs to be clear and unambiguous rules setting out why a country would no longer be welcome at Eurovision. And whatever the decision, it needs to be clearly explained and address the concerns of those on the opposite side. Us fans too can play a part. Whichever way the EBU and its membership goes on this issue, while we may not agree, we can at least refrain from the abuse that has become rampant online and foster a positive, civilised environment. Disagreements and debates can be done in a mature manner. Every expletive and insult under the sun is not required to make our point, and if anything, does next to nothing to advance our cause. Now for a couple of biggies. Voting reform. In recent years, we've seen a couple of problems develop. Firstly, the televote. Lately, we've seen the big favourites swallow up huge chunks of the points, leaving everyone else with mere breadcrumbs. It's hardly pleasant to see so many countries receiving a pitiful number of points, or even the dreaded nil point. Most people only vote for 1 or 2 countries, and this is a system that can be easily abused. This year, for example, people were encouraged to vote for Israel with the maximum number of 20 votes. In Junior Eurovision, however, the points are much more evenly spread. Therefore, maybe we should see a similar voting system introduced into the adult contest, in which you have to vote for a certain number of different countries, say 5. But this wouldn't be feasible on landline or text, only online or via the app. But then for most people these days, that's hardly the end of the world. There doesn't necessarily need to be a limit to the number of times you can vote for a set of countries, but for each set, you have to vote for 5 different countries. Next up are the juries. The last 2 winners have topped the jury vote by quite a margin, but not the televote. In fact, the latest winner, Switzerland, only came 5th with the public. While there's nothing wrong necessarily with a jury but not public winner taken all once in a while, it's not something we want to see repeatedly. Scrapping the juries altogether is not an option. We need them. They offer a different and vital perspective from the televote. But some kind of reform may be needed. A popular move would be to simply have bigger juries, but Pixabay, a member of the ESC reference group, has previously said that it wasn't possible. They could opt for a results system giving more weight to the televote, but the latter is by no means without its faults, and that would just be trying to solve one set of problems while creating others. Besides, it would just make things more complicated, and ideally, you want to keep things as simple as possible. While some of us diehard fans may like to be able to get our heads around this mathematical voodoo like some sage constitutional experts, the casual viewer would not. But considering the EBU have got more pressing issues on their hands right now, I would imagine trying to square the circle of fixing the juries is probably something that can be left for another year. If there are 3 words that are sure to provoke the ire of a number of Eurofans, they are united by music. The slogan thought up by the BBC last year was a stroke of genius in summing up the Liverpool contest. But when SVT took over the reins this year, one of the first things they discussed was the slogan, and they liked United by Music so much that they managed to convince the powers that be at the EBU that it should be made permanent. On the face of it, you can see why. Under normal circumstances, if anything in today's world can indeed be considered normal, Eurovision does bring people together through music, and from a brand recognition point of view, keeping the same slogan does make sense. But in 2024, that ethos was stretched to its absolute limit and ultimately failed. Hence, there's a call for it to be binned and to bring back unique slogans each year. Honestly, I don't see that happening. Hopefully not every year will be as tense as this past one, so maybe it won't feel so out of touch in the future. Over the past few years, we've seen the average number of countries participating in Eurovision dwindle. We can wax lyrical about our solutions, sane and insane to the problem, but at any rate, we need more countries to participate. While it's obvious the likes of Turkey, Hungary and Russia won't be returning anytime soon, there's hope that countries such as Bulgaria, North Macedonia and Romania could come back in 2025. Monaco also had their new public broadcaster and have previously expressed interest in joining the party. As for the countries already there, hopefully the likes of Ireland and Croatia will maintain the momentum they have gained from Malmö and continue to send interesting and unique acts. Spain and the United Kingdom could do with achieving respectable results again after the highs of 2022 that seem to have crash-landed since. And then there's Denmark. After Georgia and Latvia finally broke their abysmal qualification records, the Danish now hold the uncoveted position of longest non-qualification record, 3 years. Though, look on the bright side, it's miles off when the Netherlands failed to qualify 8 years in a row. But if Denmark are to prevent that 3 turning into a 4, they really need to spice up their national final. And one last quick bonus thing. Celine Dion. She has to make an appearance in some form. Whether it's just to smile sweetly and wish the contestants well on a VT, or a live blowing the roof off performance, we have to see her. Simple as. So that's 6 things we want to see at Eurovision 2025. As established earlier, we probably won't see most, if any, of these things happen, and instead we'll get something nobody asked for, but such is life. By all means, leave a comment below about what you want to see.